Welcome to the Mitten Music Podcast. A couple of guys just chilling, hanging out, talking about Michigan music, all the things that make up our Michigan music community. It is the Mitten Music Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We have a great episode lined up for you right now.
Sounds of the Zoo 2024. We had the opportunity to go down and interview a lot of different artists. We went down for 2 days, Monday night at the Clover Room. We were down there Saturday for the Bronson Park, but there was stuff going on all week, different genres of music, different venues throughout the city of Kalamazoo. Great job, Jennifer Hudson-Prenkert. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for putting this thing on every year, and thank you for all the hard work that you're putting into it. Really appreciate it. This interview is when we were at the Clover Room. We had the chance to see all these artists play live, and then we talked to three of them that were at the Clover that night. We talked to Kanin Wren, Darcey Wilkin, and Sammie Hershock. Hope you enjoy these interviews.
So we got Kanin Wren, and you just put on a show here at the Clover Room.
I did. It was fantastic.
Yeah?
The other two artists are just so talented. I'd never heard Darcey before in person, but Sammie I had seen before, and they're both fantastic.
Yeah.
They were good.
That was a great show.
They were real good.
That was really awesome. How'd you like the Clover Room?
I loved it. Yeah, I'd never been here before either, and yeah, it was a great space. Yeah.
Yeah, very intimate.
Yeah.
So Kanin, for people who don't know or haven't seen you or are here
Yeah.
tonight to see you, how do you describe your music?
Gosh, that's something I've been trying to figure out a lot kind of within the past year. I would probably say it's kind of pop country. At least that's what I'm trying to lean more into. So my music in the future, as well as I think some of the more recent stuff that I put out, I would say leans more pop country.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
When I was listening, the first song I heard, I was like, man, she should play some Taylor Swift songs. Like, she's got the sound. And I had no idea that you were in a Taylor Swift tribute band. And because we listen to a lot of similar sounding music at my house. I have a couple of younger daughters. And I was like, this is right up that alley. It sounded so good. And can I say, I thought your voice was just so. I learned that you were 18 right before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, her voice sounds so mature for an 18-year-old singer, right? Those are the things that I was thinking of when the first couple seconds that you started out. It was
thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah, it was
and that's
beautiful.
good to hear.
Good.
And I would say your confidence, your stage presence is very strong. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I think because I've been performing so much over the course of the past 2 years, and I performed before that too. I've been kind of performing in bars and restaurants since I was 12 or 13, and then I started the Taylor Swift thing about 2 years ago, and I think just doing that has kind of made my stage presence, I don't know, it's taken it to the next level, I would say, because Taylor moves so much on stage, and she even dances, and I will say I'm working on my dancing. I'm not a very good dancer, but I try my best. But yeah, I think that's kind of pushed me to want to become better at the stage presence aspect of performing.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I feel like I have grown a lot in the past 2 years, just because there's just been so much stuff that I've learned by watching other artists and just kind of trial and error while I'm on stage anyways too. So
So you've got several singles that have come out over the last year. So is that building up to an album, or what's kind of your plan there?
Yeah, that's the hope, is to build up to an album. I still have another single that I'm going to be releasing pretty soon, and I've been writing. It's hard because I'm on tour. It's hard to kind of, have the time to sit down and write. And when you do have that time where you're off of tour, it's hard to want to write when you're in your downtime too. But I did write a song by myself not too long ago, and then I just did another co-write. So I like writing, but it's hard to get the time nowadays. So
How do you? I know that you write some of your own songs, and you said you had a couple songs that you had help written, or it was maybe more or less given to you. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Do you, as you're performing those songs, both types as you go on? Do you know over time, like the song that you didn't fully write all by yourself, do you just like love it as much as the other ones that you have written by yourself? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if you like, you're always like, yeah, I'm going to sing this song.
Yeah.
And you just don't ever like feel like it's your own, but maybe you
No,
do, I don't know.
I feel like with those songs that are outside cuts, which is what you call
outside
a song.
cuts. There you
Yeah.
go. Yep.
That's what you call a song that, somebody brought to you or sent to you. And I do feel like those songs, I try and make them my own. I try and make them as relatable to me as they can be. And luckily, I've had a lot of luck with that, with the songs that I have done that are outside cuts. Yeah, I love them all the same, really. There's no song where I'm like, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they're all great songs. So
Is it harder to get in their headspace of that writer a little bit? To bring it to life, I guess is the
Yeah, that's
the
a
word.
good question. I don't know. It depends on what the song is like. I feel like when I am looking through a catalog of outside cuts, I do tend to gravitate more towards the songs that I can relate to. So I do think just because I tend to pick those songs that it's easier to relate to them when I actually am playing them. And, over time, the more I play them, the more I relate to them. And yeah, I feel like whether the song is my own or not, I can feel that all the same. And some of these outside cuts are just so beautifully written. Especially shout out to my producer, Aaron. He's down in Nashville, and yeah, he's the one that I got the outside cut from. So.
Okay.
The Heller, Minnesota.
Yeah, Heller, Minnesota.
I was gonna say, am I supposed to say that yet?
No, you can. That one's out. Yeah.
That one's right.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was a great song. I love
Thank you.
that one. That was great.
Yep, that one, and then Crybaby and Wander are both outside cuts too. So.
Crybaby and Wanderer.
Yeah.
Wander.
No, just Wander.
Wander.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. But they're all fantastic songs. I have nothing but good things to say about them. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what do you got going? You got a tour coming up, and that's the Taylor Swift Experience tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's how long is that for? Where you guys hitting?
So, it's hard to even tell how long it is, just
Yeah.
because you go out on the road and you lose track of time, you know.
Sure, yeah.
But I leave on Thursday, which is really exciting. We just got back not too long ago from a kind of a shorter run. It's about 4 days, and we did 4 shows. And it's just so much fun, kind of like seeing the new places and just meeting all of these new people. And, I think every crowd is a little bit different, and I think it's really unique in that way, just because they react to everything differently, But it's been fantastic. It's been so much fun, especially I feel like that's such an opportunity to bond with the people that I play with, my band as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing.
That's great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I think I heard that you're going to be doing a cruise.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're doing a cruise in March, and we've never done anything like that before, so I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
We talked to Ava Swiss last year, and she would either just got off of a cruise tour of some
She was
kind,
looking to do
Yeah.
one.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
She was looking to do one? Because
yeah.
that's just...
And I had no idea
Yeah, right.
kind of like about how that worked before this,
Yeah.
but I'm super excited. Like,
Yeah, I bet.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And
Are there other artists on the cruise with you?
so that I'm not sure about. I would have to look further into that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't affect what you're there to do.
So you get to play music, you get to be on vacation,
Exactly.
and tour
Yeah.
and be on the water and
And we're going
visit
to
different
like,
places.
I think the stops are like the Bahamas, which I've never been to the Bahamas, but I know
Sounds
it's
like a
nice.
bummer.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. And then I want to say St. Martin and Puerto Rico,
Okay.
maybe.
Cool.
I feel like there's one more maybe that I'm missing, but I don't know. I think
We
it
won't hold
leaves
you to
from
it.
Miami, so
Fair enough.
it'll be
It
fun.
all sounds lovely and
Yeah.
warm at
Yeah,
the right
we're
time
going to
of
be
year.
jealous, for sure.
I know. I am excited because, I don't know, I feel like I'll get 2 spring breaks this year maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'll do that. And then, my friends, because they're in college now, their spring break is a little different than
what you're used to.
that spring break.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
It's like at different time periods, so I'll get to go on spring
Perfect.
break with them as well. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
Get two.
great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
So where can people find more about you?
Okay, so my website is kaninwren.com.
Now I will say I apologize. We said your name wrong on another podcast a long time ago. So
It was his fault.
how do you spell your name?
I knew it.
No, that's okay. Honestly, I'm so used to it. I've been called everything. I mean, yeah. It's been Karen, it's been Kanin, it's been K9, which
Oh, wow.
came out of the blue. I don't know. But it's Kanin, like a cannonball, with a K. So Kanin, and then Wren is WREN. Yeah.
All right.
It is too interesting. Your whole name is two interesting names.
Yeah.
It's not Kanin Smith or like Kanin Roberts.
Yeah.
Kanin Wren. Like, how cool is that? That's
That is
a
a
cool
cool
last
name.
name.
It's
That-
very
I
cool.
like it. I dig it.
And for branding too, it's great
Yeah.
because Wren, like a songbird. So like, I don't know, that's just one. We're kind of, testing all these different names,
Cool.
and
Hey.
Kanin Wren just really stuck out. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Maybe like
good
in,
choice.
In 10 years when you're like, you know what, I'm done with the singer-songwriter stuff. I'm just doing metal. Then you can just come up with a
Yeah.
new name and be somebody else, and it's all good. Well, thank you so much for taking some
Yeah.
time out and chatting with us for a few minutes.
This is fun. I don't think I've ever been on a podcast before. Maybe I have, and I don't remember, but it's been so much fun.
So we'll keep our tabs on where you're going to be playing. We'll see you
Yeah.
again, and maybe next year we can invite you over
Oh my
to
gosh,
the
yeah.
studio and do an actual
full interview.
full-blown
Yeah,
interview.
that would be awesome, and then we could recap the year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Great.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, we've got Darcey Wilkin.
Hi,
Hello.
how you doing?
Great. Yourself?
Doing well. That was a fun show.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was really great. Thanks for being here.
For
Yeah.
sure.
This is a cool space. The Clover
Yeah,
Room.
the Clover Room is really cool. It's a listening room where people come with the idea of, unlike a bar, people sit there and actually listen.
Is that nice?
It's so nice.
I can imagine.
It's so nice. Doesn't happen everywhere. So this is pretty
Right.
special.
Yeah.
I was remarking to Darcey right before we started about how good it sounded, like just
Oh,
the
yeah.
singing and the whatever. I couldn't tell if they had one of those skinny Bose like stereo systems or I don't know what they had, but I was like, it sounds awesome in here. This
Yeah,
sounds.
that's
I was
great.
in the very back. I mean, it's not a very big room, but
Yeah, it
in the
always
back
does.
sounded perfect.
They do a really great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, really excellent. So, Darcey, for people who don't know
Yes.
who you are, who are you? You're from Kalamazoo, right?
Yep, I'm from Kalamazoo, and I've been in music for a really long time. I play in a band called the Corn-Fed Girls that started way back in 1997.
All right.
And we're still together and all still like each other, and that's kind of cool. And then about 10 years ago, I also started playing out solo.
Okay.
And I grew up in a musical family, so it just kind of happened naturally.
And have you always been in the Kalamazoo area then? For most of your-
I lived in Saugatuck from 2000 to 2010,
Okay.
but then
Yeah.
I came back because all my people were here and my band was here,
Sure.
and I love Kalamazoo.
Awesome.
Yeah, great space.
I will say I enjoy your sense of humor.
Oh, thanks.
If you want to call it maybe it's just your sense of being. Maybe it doesn't have to be humorous, but
Well, you have to temper the sad songs with something, right?
And you do it well.
Thanks.
everything that is dark, like I guess dark comedy is what I was gonna say earlier, but the bleakness of the
Yeah,
all
there's-
that's up right up my alley.
There's
That's
some maudlin stuff in there for
oh,
sure.
it's
yeah.
just make I don't know, it's more interesting to chew on that kind of stuff when you're.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to tell you I appreciated it and I loved it.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
And I could tell you're a seasoned veteran up there. Stage presence is amazing.
Aw, thanks.
And just the way you're interacting with the other artists and stuff was really cool.
Thank you. I get to practice. I also have a radio show in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Grassroots.
What?
Yeah, my dad started it 47 years ago.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
smokes.
It's on public radio on WMUK.
Okay.
And
WMUK.
yep, about 10 years ago I joined him on it, and then a couple years ago he stepped back, so now it's just me. But yeah, Saturday nights and Sunday mornings on WMUK.
So is it do you talk to people or you play music?
I play
Both?
music and
Okay.
do the introducing and
Oh,
the
yeah,
backing
yeah.
and all of that. But
Darcey, I get to do something similar to that.
really?
Monday through Fridays, 8 to midnight on thesonicoast.com.
All right,
Have you ever
I'm
heard
gonna-
of the Sonic Coast?
I have not, but I want to check it out.
Internet radio station. It's mostly Michigan music. with a couple like classic deep cuts, classic rock
Okay.
deep cuts, just to kind of spread it out a little bit. But yeah, it's all.
And it's 4 hours a night?
Well,
It's 24/7.
24/7.
My part is 8 to midnight, but
Wow.
we can pre-record. We get the luxury since it's online. We
Yeah,
can
I
pre-record
pre-record
everything. So
I pre-record
couple
too,
times
but
a
mine's
week.
only 2 hours a week.
Yeah,
Man,
it's-
that's a bunch.
I know. I got asked for a lot, and I didn't even realize it. I'm just like, I've always wanted to work in the radio.
Yeah.
But
That's great.
now
I
get
will
to
check it out. Is there a name to your show?
I'm just no. So I have a segment within my show called Ryan's Stash where I play some
Okay.
of my favorite Michigan music.
Cool.
But other than that, no, it's just the Sonic Coast, and there's just different three. I think there's 3 of us that typically throughout the weekday, starting at 10 a.m. all the way to midnight, there's 3 different ones.
how
And then
neat.
weekends, it's kind of some different artists or someone that the owner that runs the Sonic Coast knows. You might have them, do something on the weekend. Other like
Okay.
throughout the night, and on the weekends, it's maybe DJ lists, I guess you'd
Right,
say.
okay.
if That's what you want to call
Well,
it.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
pretty cool.
awesome.
And the music selections, I also get to help curate that part. So
That is fun,
It
isn't
is
it?
awesome.
I love doing
I
that.
love it.
And it forces you to listen to so much music, too.
Oh,
It
I-
exposes you to so much more music.
Right? And then you just realize, wow, there's just that much more awesome, amazing music out there that I never knew existed because it's not my genre or it's not my
Right.
jam or it's not what I think about when I want to turn something on.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
So speaking of genres,
Yes.
how would you explain? I can explain it, but I don't really want to explain it. How do you explain your music? How would you explain it?
My solo stuff, I mostly put in the folk singer category, I would say. Singer-songwriter, because I write a lot of my own stuff, but it's like folk singer kind of stuff. And I grew up on that, singer-songwriter music and bluegrass, a lot of bluegrass in my house. So yeah, I'd say I'm a folk singer.
And I will say you're a great storyteller.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
For sure.
I was engaged in wanting to know more about the story. I mean, there's some folk singers. I think a lot of folk singers are good storytellers, but some just play good folk music.
Right.
But you're telling a good story.
Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
I really
that.
like the what'd you call it? The
Murder ballad.
murder ballad. Never
Or
heard
the
that before.
intentional homicide ballad.
Yes.
I like that one even better.
Yes, I did. When you grow up in folk music, you do come across weird genres of stuff, and one of them is the murder ballad. There's tons of them out there.
That's awesome.
And I don't even know how they started. I don't know if it was like as a warning to other people or to tell stories or to, I don't know. Before things were recorded, I think they were passed down, but I always wanted to write one, and I finally
Makes sense, yeah.
Finally did.
It was awesome.
That's
Thank
cool.
you. Thanks.
So your band, is it similar type of music?
Yeah, we'd put it in Americana, I guess,
Okay, yeah.
whatever that means. But it's
Right.
Guitar, bass, violin, mandolin, and another guitar. So,
Okay.
and sometimes ukulele's thrown in there and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But mostly that kind of instrumentation.
Sure.
And we write a lot of our own songs too. It's a really fun band.
I dig it.
Yeah,
Since '97,
90s.
when you first, at first I thought you said the Corn Flake Girls, and I was like, are they like a Tori Amos tribute band, maybe?
Nope, the corn-fed
But
girls.
it was the Corn Fed.
Yeah, actually, my friend Sarah that I play with in that band, both our dads were in a band together when we were little girls called Sweet Corn.
Oh.
So then that's a band my dad had for 50 years. So
Holy cow.
We grew up going to festivals and all of that
Yeah.
stuff, and so
That's awesome.
so we're the corn-fed girls.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's fun.
So sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So-
Nope, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't even know what I was going to say anymore.
I was gonna say, so where can people typically find you playing?
Places like this is what I prefer. I really like listening rooms, concerts and listening rooms. I don't do quite as many bars, but and festivals. I love to play festivals and
Yeah.
house concerts.
Okay.
So, and I'm Facebookable.
Yeah.
So if you look up Darcey Wilkin with no S at the end of Wilkin,
Thank you.
You're not the plural version.
I'm not. There's only one of me.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand.
So I promote myself relentlessly there.
Good.
That's the place to find me.
You never played the Midtown GR.
I haven't yet, but I would love to.
I was gonna, like that's that you need
I
to
like
play.
that. I love that venue.
You
It's
need to
really
play
great.
that and the Stray.
And I've never even been to the Stray.
You need
The
to go
Stray
to
is
the
cool.
Stray.
You
That'd be
would
perfect.
You would dig that, I think.
All
Yeah,
right.
You would dig it.
I'll look
Yeah.
into
It sounds like a mixture of everything that you're liking. They do have food there, but I wouldn't.
cool.
I wouldn't call it like a bar or a restaurant. Either I wouldn't call
Well,
it
it's
either
more of a
those.
coffee shop.
Yeah, cafe.
Feel, cafe,
but
yeah.
big enough to seat more people than.
But it has
Yeah.
the
Here.
listening room feel because they are
Cool.
focused on music first.
Yeah, and I'm not anti-bar. I go to
Yeah.
bars all the time to see bands, but it's fun to have people
Pay attention.
there for that reason, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
means
So
something
cool.
a little different.
Yeah.
Cool. Anywhere else that people can check out your music or check out more about you? Is Facebook your spot? That you use?
I have a website that is currently under construction called,
Okay.
and it's darceytunes.com.
Darcey Tunes. Cool.
So it's being built at the moment, but
Awesome.
yeah, that's where you can find me.
We'll look forward to that.
Awesome.
All right,
Kick it.
cool.
That's
All right.
sweet.
It's great talking with you.
Thank
Darcey.
great
you so
talking with
much.
you. Thanks
you
for
rocked
having
it
me.
tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we got Sammie Hershock with us. Just
Yeah.
played at the Clover Room.
Oh my gosh. I was blown away
Yes.
for a couple of reasons. And I'm sorry, I just kind of
Yeah.
just jumped right in, right?
Yeah, do it.
May I ask, have you ever heard of the band called Something Corporate?
No.
A lot of your songs, I feel like you should go on tour with them.
Oh, no shit. Okay, I'll check them out.
They're like, I would just call them like an alternative rock band of some kind, but they have many songs that's just either a piano or an organ with maybe like a slow drum beat behind it. But the way you sing is very similar to like the story piece of it. I was just like, I could see you playing with them, and I'm like, I wonder if she's like, if you get a chance, look up the song Constantine by Something Corporate.
Okay.
And I think you might know maybe what I'm talking about.
Okay, I will.
Thank you for letting me say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going, Jeff.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, I really enjoyed your piano playing. I've heard your album that you released recently too, and
Oh,
really
thanks.
enjoyed just listening to that album. But you if I'm correct, you have a lot of I don't want to say classical training in piano, something along those lines. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I'm actually a piano teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've been teaching piano actually since I was 16.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like just 2 years ago then.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2 whole years of teaching it. No. So I grew up studying classical music, but didn't really get too much into it until I was, I don't know, maybe like 16 or 17. And then I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I went to a little tiny Catholic college, and they had a little tiny music program, but it was incredible. But they only had 2 options. It was voice or pipe organ performance.
Pipe organ performance.
And so obviously, being slightly an overachiever, I chose pipe organ performance.
Oh, wow.
Nice, of course.
That's awesome.
So so I did that. I did that for a year, and then I came back and started teaching piano out of my
Yeah.
apartment.
Are you from Kalamazoo?
I'm from Marshall, so
Okay,
close-ish, yeah.
I knew someone here tonight was going to be from Marshall, and so you were telling me,
Yep.
but I just couldn't remember who was coming from where. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Cool. Now, is it true? Did I read that? So you went to a Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a point in time when you might have wanted to go down to be a nun?
Yeah, you read that right?
I did read that, but I wanted to make sure that was legit. And
It's legit.
Yeah. So what changed your path?
That's a great question. So yeah, I grew up Catholic, pretty strongly Catholic, and then I just felt like really called to be a nun, and it was a lot of like it was in my experience at the time, you know, and then I sent in an application, and I met my husband 2 weeks after that.
Oh, and he crushed it all.
Deal breaker.
Yeah. And then,
I hope he was worth it.
yeah, totally. And then they were like, well, the convent called me back, and this was, I don't know, maybe like a couple months after I sent in the application, and it was like a huge thing. It was like 30 pages long.
Wow.
And like you had to have a bunch of other people like, I don't know, like vouch for you, basically, you know, all that stuff. And so they called me back, and they were like, we don't believe that this is where you're meant to be. And I was like, neither do I.
They just didn't know that part yet, did they?
No.
Dang.
Yeah.
And they never
Kinda
said
crazy.
they could just
No.
tell. They're like,
They just like vaguely said that, which I don't know if that was like, maybe it was just like a really nice way of letting me down, you know, like, we don't want her in here, but we're just going to say it was not God's will. But, you know, I don't know.
well, it obviously worked out.
It's
So
mysterious. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
good.
So you just came out with an album, right?
Yes, I did.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. So well, actually, this is like the perfect segue because the album is I like I was saying, I grew up playing sacred music. That was my first real experience with music, and now I'm no longer practicing, and I'm not playing in churches anymore. But I have all of this like passion about. I love hymns and I love old church music, and I always will, because it was like what made me into a musician.
Right, sure.
But I had like this little moment for a while where I was just like, what am I going to do with all this stuff that's just like sitting in my brain, and I'm not playing at a church, I'm not singing it. And I've always written my own songs. I mean, my entire life. And a lot of them are sort of about, in a way, like my spiritual journey or just like what's going on in my life at the time. And so when I was making this record, it felt right because it's my first real record, it felt right for me to just kind of like incorporate those things, like themes from, all of the church music that I love. So it kind of made it sound kind of hymny in some areas, like maybe with certain chords, or I use some legit hymns in the record, like as counter melodies.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's super nerd stuff.
It's like if you know, kind of thing. And
Yeah,
someone will
yeah.
hear it and be like,
Cool is definitely an operative word.
In 547. Oh my gosh, how'd she get that in her song?
Exactly.
Someone's gonna figure that out, right?
Oh, dude, I actually had like one moment where one person was like, "You put this hymn in the back," and I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, someone recognized it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
But not knowing any of that, like, I wouldn't have guessed that at all. Like, I don't pick anything of that up. But then again, I'm just, my perspective is a lot different than your perspective and coming from someone that knows you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's subtle. Like I wanted it to be subtle,
And you hit your goal then.
Thanks.
For sure.
Yeah. But it honestly was like mainly for myself. Like I was like, you know what? I want like a way to sort of honor this, as like an important, as the important part that it was in creating me as a musician,
That's
Definitely.
awesome.
So.
Any pipe organ? I don't think I heard any. But.
No pipe organ. But I do have this like crazy dream of doing like pipe organ, but as like a really heavy like a bass. Ooh. Like in like a pop, like an alt pop. Okay, but this is, I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but come on,
It
man.
must.
Like pipe organ in an alt pop album would be
That would
sweet.
be badass.
That's
Heck yeah.
sweet.
You know what else she reminds me of? Patty Pershela.
A little bit.
Do you know who Patty is?
Yeah, I love Patty.
Yes. You just have the maybe it's the, I don't want to say non-serious, but like the just, you're cool, go with the flow, but you kind of you can joke around and like it's you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. That's a huge compliment.
Good.
Patty's
Well,
cool.
She is cool.
She's cool. Definitely.
Heck yeah.
So where can people find more about Sammie Hershock?
Well, I have a website. It's sammiehershock.com, and let's see. I'm on Facebook, Sammie Hershock Music, and I'm also on Instagram, Sammie Hershock Music. And I'm on Spotify and YouTube and
All the streaming
all the streaming thingies.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what you got going on next?
I'm making more music, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got new stuff in the works. I have so many songs.
Just all up in your head.
Yeah, I have
so. You got to get them down.
I have like a crazy backlog of songs. So I was like, you know what? Now that I started working on music, I am going to finally tackle this backlog of songs. And then, do you know what I did?
Took a nap.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. But instead, I just keep writing new songs, and then the new songs are what I want to put on the record, and so I still have a backlog of songs. So
it'll be,
the problem is not solved.
Yeah. Maybe one day you'll get around.
Yeah.
Maybe just kind of take off like smaller bites. Like, we'll just work on 2 songs.
That would be great. I don't know if I'm a small bites person,
Fair enough. Hey,
but that seems like a really responsible idea.
I love your honesty. Good job.
Thanks.
She is just like Patty. I swear, this is like we're having almost the same conversation. Well, that's sweet. We're looking forward to another round of new songs
Oh, thanks.
whenever it may come out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say
Nope,
anything.
don't make any promises.
Yeah, whenever she stops writing more songs and has a moment to actually record the
Yeah.
songs.
Right?
yeah, exactly. I'm pausing on that right now because I have too many new ones to write.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you have any dates coming up for any more shows?
Yeah. I have a new song tour coming up.
Oh yes.
Yes.
You alluded to that, right?
Yep, with Spencer LaJoy and Grace Tyson.
Yeah. We like Grace. She's cool.
Oh, Grace is cool, and Spencer's
Spencer's
amazing.
cool.
If you
Yeah,
haven't heard of them,
I saw Spencer at the Stray.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Awesome.
and
I have not seen him.
one of our shows on this tour is at the Stray.
Oh, awesome.
So
We'll be there.
yeah,
We will
oh
be there.
nice, cool. And then we have another show at Northfield Mandolin's workshop in Marshall. And if you've never been to that place, it's super cool.
No. Isn't Dark Horse Brewing in Marshall?
Yes, Dark Horse is in Marshall
Yeah.
too. But Northfield is an amazing mandolin place, and they sell mandolins all over the U.S.
Wow.
They have this super cool workshop with like exposed brick, and it's super vibey, and they have concerts there a decent amount.
Really?
Yeah, it's really a cool place to see a show. So we're doing the Stray, Northfield, and then Clover Room.
All right.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well,
Yep.
thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time.
Oh, thank
that
you
was
guys
great.
so much. It was great talking with you.
For
Yeah,
sure.
You too.
We'll get-
Enjoy the music.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right.
If you like this episode, check out all of our episodes on your favorite streaming platform,
Or even our website, themittenmusic.com.
or if you want short clips of our episodes, check out our socials.
We got Facebook,
We have Instagram
we got TikTok.
and YouTube.
We're all over the social media game.
Make sure to check out some live Michigan music or listen on your favorite streaming platform.